Today in the crypto space, we see the market a mix of green and red. Bitcoin right around $95,500, Ethereum right around that $3,500 mark. Both heavyweights are very hesitant, while the rest of the crypto space is doing pretty good. We have a few good gainers like BNB, Tron, Sui, VeChain, and a few others. And of course, there are a few dips here and there. The majority of the market is looking good though. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project that is definitely looking good for that bounce. The question is it going to hit resistance? And that project is called REALIO. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the overall market cap. It's kind of going sideways, right around $3.6 trillion, looking pretty good. It's not really that bearish. I'm afraid of the hang time. Maybe it's not, maybe it's due for a bit of a reversal, maybe a bit of a dip here. We do see the trading volume also hesitating. After a nice impulsive up, we've seen a battlefield, pretty much the bears and the bulls battling out. That's why we got that volume, both bearish and bullish volume. And all of a sudden the volume is hesitant, while the price or the market cap is also hesitant. Guys, this market right now, in my opinion, is playing games. Even the Bitcoin price. The Bitcoin price is currently playing a bit of games. As you can see, this complex rounded top, not a good thing. It's not a good look. Generally speaking, such structures like this end up being retractive, end up, causing a bit of a dip in the market. And it's okay because we're prepared, right? We're prepared. Either we go up or down, bearish or bullish. It doesn't matter. Like I always say, ultimately, if we do come down, we have to ensure that we have some dry powder to buy dips. Ethereum is looking a very similar way, rolling over just a little bit, that rounded top. I love the rounded bottoms. You guys know that I'm always looking for those rounded bottoms, but when we see rounded tops, guys, it's not a good look, right? We could be looking for a distribution at the top of the range. Short-term dips, we'll buy and accumulate. We'll prepare those margin positions once again and move to the upside all over again. That's the way we do it, guys. We look for peaks and valleys and we try to trade as best as we can throughout those opportunities. Ultimately, we do see Solana in a dip. We do see a lot of projects showing a little bit of weakness, but there's a lot of them showing a strength. Obviously, look at Tron up 40%. We have BNB up, doing very, very well, 7.5%. And the rest of the space, is kind of showing a very similar scenario where we're seeing a mix of green and red, sideways, and a bit of indecision. And this is very typical when you see a ranging market. Bitcoin going sideways, Ethereum showing sideways, leaves the market in a scenario where we get some random projects popping off, especially after a nice change of character or a bull flag or continuation pattern of any sort. So it's looking okay. That's very possible. Like Chainlink right now, it's possibly looking for a continuation after this little dip. It's a retracement. It looks like a flag. It looks like it could continue to the upside in the next little while. The thing is, guys, like HBAR is doing the same thing. Sui has been running today, doing really good, up approximately 16%. And the list goes on. We have a lot of good gainers, but ultimately, I feel like if you're going to be trading this market, you got to get in and you got to get out. You got to act like a ninja. You got to be swift. You got to find your entries, put yourself at break even, take profit, and keep on doing that over and over and over, because we don't know what's going to be happening in the immediate short term with regards to Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin's dip, it's going to be over for a lot of these projects. A lot of them are going to take bigger retracements, and obviously we'll be able to buy on that fire sale. But as of now, look at this, guys. We have Mantra continuing to the upside, up 12.6% for the day. Really bullish. Phantom is up another 12.5% for the day. Awesome stuff there for Phantom. Ultimately, guys, we're seeing a lot. Even Monero's waking up a little bit here, 4% after a ranging price action for a good while. ranging price action in the last little bit has been a sign to get in. Even on those looking good, up 28% for the day. Now it's in a bull flag type of scenario. Do we get a continuation, or are we going to get a dip, or are we going to go sideways and get a Bart Simpson? This is the issue right now, is that a lot of projects have already done great moves. And the issue of buying in green price action is that you potentially are buying the local top. And now, if we find the structure, we can get defensive. We can put stop losses accordingly. But if there is no structure, the risk you're taking is that we get on a full retracement, and who knows how low we're going to go. We have Arweave still grinding, which is great. We have IOTA doing good, an OG in the space doing good. A lot of good green price action. But again, guys, get in, get out. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value here, make sure that you stop the like button and follow the channel. I do release my live streams at 8 p.m. EST, and we talk about crypto news and price action, of course. And if you have any projects you want me to cover, that is a great time and place to request any projects that you're interested in. All right, guys, let's take a look at some of this price action. Let's begin by talking about Bitcoin first, and then we'll take a look at REALIO, a project that's part of the real world asset narrative that has been showing a little bit of strength within the bottom of the range. As Bitcoin is rolling over, we're expecting some of these altcoins to eventually roll over as well. But in the meantime, as Bitcoin goes sideways and stays within the structure, we're seeing a lot of these altcoins pop off. Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. As you do see, Bitcoin, is getting, a bit of a, dead cat bounce after a dip, rounded top. I don't like the rounded tops. We got to get into lower time frames to see this a bit better. Look at the retracement, and then look at the rejection at this previous at this horizontal. The horizontals for me are a big part of my trading strategy. They represent liquidity. They represent a lot more confluence than diagonals. Although the diagonal intersection of the horizontal was quite spot on, you can see that it did pretty good here, holding the resistance. And now the question is, do we actually fall, make a lower low? If not, we better make some decisions quick here, guys, because the market is not looking, is not very patient. And we are seeing that a lot of the altcoins have been running while Bitcoin is going sideways, which is healthy, very, very healthy. However, if Bitcoin falls, expect fire sales in that altcoin market, guys. Expect the fire sales. And of course, the Bitcoin dominance in the last little while has been showing a lot of strength for the altcoins. However, a bit of relief to the upside might be around the corner. It's been falling very, very, quickly with a lot of strength. And this is what happens, guys. We get overly confident in the Bitcoin dominance or whatever indicator that we're using. And then that's when we get in with high leverage positions and get greedy. And that's where the market tends to want to go induce pain, right? So just be careful out there, because I feel like there's a lot of leverage that needs to be flushed out in the next little bit. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. And we do see that momentum's in the chop zone. Even the trend is pretty much going sideways, not very, very decisive. A little bit red, EMA to the downside. We got a bit of bearish divergence right here. It's the daily that keeps me a little bit, what are we doing next? Look at this. EMAs are facing down, red histogram bars. Are we going to get a final move to the downside? Look at the momentum rolling over a little bit here. The hang time is really real. Ultimately, we could eventually be coming down, guys. After a consolidation, maybe we keep on going for another little few touches right into here on the daily, and then maybe we start rolling to the downside. Maybe 87,000. That's where I'm going to be deploying my first wave of capital. $87,000 Bitcoin will bring those altcoins to a reasonable level where we can buy in on a dip. Now, if we jump right into RIO, ultimately, you can see that if Bitcoin takes that dip and Bitcoin continues showing weakness and making lower lows, REALIO is very likely to get rejected at the resistance, right? So REALIO is at a level where this W formation worked out absolutely perfectly. It did really well here in the volume indication, showing that a lot of market participation was getting involved. We got a nice bouncy bounce, and then all of a sudden back to previous highs where we've gotten rejected before. And it's a high level confluence zone based on the TAs. You can see this chart. I did use it many weeks ago when I covered REALIO, and finally we hit it to the point where it's now we got to give it some of our attention. So are we going to trade this right now? Are we going to get in long positions at the current moment? We just got to identify that risk. The risk at the current moment is that we get rejected, and the risk is that we come all the way back down to the bottom of the range. That is very possible. Obviously, we do have some support zones that I'm interested in. About $1 is a good level based on all the volume here. What about if we come down, get some support and bounce? That's obviously an ideal place as well. But then the big question is, what about if we break out? Since we've been seeing a lot of altcoins break out in the last little while. So this is the issue. You know, we don't want to get stuck midstream. RIO looking for the breakout. Bitcoin rolls over. You know, something happens in the news, and then all of a sudden, boom, 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 this thing starts coming down. So what we have to do is find a way to get in where we're buying in from a position of strength. Right now, it's very difficult to do that because you're at a breakout position. Now, we could wait for a breakout. We could wait for the back test. We could get in on the back test. We can get in on the breakout. We can pile in more on the back test. We can even get more in on a break of character or break of structure to the upside, or we confirm another higher high. And then ultimately your entries all into this level, right in the average scenario, and then obviously you're in profit. This is all very possible, but we've seen a lot of these altcoins break resistance and not look back. This is the problem. In strong bullish conditions, a lot of the times we do not get the back test. I would say that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen sooner than later, because I feel like the market is becoming a bit fearful of a retracement. So maybe people are waiting for confirmations before they get in heavy positions, and maybe this might be the best scenario. However, another alternative is to go short. Obviously, to go short and to get indications of that reversal on lower time frames, or even get indications of a long position on lower time frames. Are we getting any structure here? No, I don't see any structure at all. In fact, what I plan on doing here is going on the oscillators and looking. We're getting a bit of divergence, higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the momentum. Is that enough to suggest a reversal? It could be, if you're going to get it in and put a stop loss right above here, a 1.3, 1.45, get into short positions and expect it to come down to about 95 cents. That is ideal, given the fact that 4 hours showing us divergence. Now, if we get into lower time frames on the 1 hour, you can see we got up a little bit, still diverging, higher highs in the price action, lower highs on the momentum. I don't really trust what's happening here in the immediate short term. It looks like REALIO might be looking to get rejected on the lower time frames, and if that happens, guys, it might give us a better entry to get in on REALIO on a back test or some sort of structure where we start to look for a bull flag. Now, if we flag out right here, which is what we did here, the only difference is we broke below the flag in validation of a bullish long. If we consolidate here, it could be that we end up looking for a breakout. And this is the reality. Now, if we do break below the lows and below the structure, we can stop ourselves out and expect to come back down and start looking for another support zone. But right now, I think that if you're going to get into short positions, you have to put a stop loss right into here. Or if you're going to get in long, wait for a confirmation back test and spring right off of previous resistance that will act as support. So it's all about risk management, guys, because without structure on these levels, at this level, where are you going to put your stop loss? We can get on the 1 hour and say, okay, we'll put it at these wicks. It's not enough for me. It's not enough of a confident structure. Ultimately, it's all the way back to the bottom of the range. So ideally, what we're looking for is a level where to get in, where we can put a stop loss to protect ourselves just in case we see the market move in the opposite direction. Okay, guys, so REALIO is looking good. Look at that W, beautiful W. If it does break out, guys, that is a great opportunity to see REALIO actually expand to higher levels and move like we've seen many other projects move in the last little bit. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.